is Aloud, and I'm here to read you some of my favourite books. Hi everybody, today's book is Moz The Monster, and here with I got Moz The Monster. So let's start the book. It was nearly Christmas. It was time to go to bed. Joe went slowly up the stairs. "Oh, I must go," he said. Joe didn't really like the dark, but he tucked tight that night and made himself be big and brave. Then turned off the light. Then suddenly from under his bed, he heard a snore, and all his toys whooshed out and tumbled right across the floor. Joe puzzled through, and he'd take a look, and saw to his surprise a sleepy, friendly, and enormous pair of monster eyes. Well, that was quite exciting, but the snores went on and on. Joe couldn't get to sleep, although he tried to all night. Next day, Joe made a poster and stuck it to his door. "This will show that monster he's not welcome anymore." That night, as Joe climbed into bed, all was calm and still. Joe began to drift to sleep. At last, he sighed, until something blasted through the room. Joe stepped up with a stare. He knew exactly what it was. It was the monstrous bat. Ha ha ha. Joe began to laugh and laugh. The monster joined in too. "I will call you Moz," said Joe. "I think that's nice, don't you?" Moz blinked and smiled and nodded, so Joe knew he felt the same. "Well, now we're both awake," said Joe. "Come on, let's play again." The next day at football match, Joe was no good at all. He always dozed and rubbed his eyes. He couldn't stop the ball. Joe didn't really mind, although the other side had won. He knew that night he'd see his friend and have the best of fun. But then again, next morning, it was time to cut Joe's hair. Joe just couldn't stay awake and dropped off in his chair. Joe dozed by day and played by night. There was so much to do. Rock, paper, scissors, piggybacks, all game just right for two. Poor Joe grew very tired and his eye began to itch. He wrote his special letter but hardly could stay awake. "Dear Santa, please," the letter started. There was nothing more. Joe had felt on the table. Soon he began to snore. That night was most important. It would soon be Christmas Day, and though Joe felt so sleepy, Moz thought it was time to play. The game had hardly started when Moz noticed something odd. Joe was very quiet and his head began to nod. Moz suddenly felt sorry as he gazed down to his friend. Joe was just too tired. The games would have to end. Next morning, it was Christmas Day. Joe raced down to the tree and found his strange-looking gift. "Is this one for me?" Everybody shrugged. "And then I suppose it's not from you." But then Joe had a thought. Was it from Moz? Could it be true? Joe unwrapped the paper and inside he found nightlight. This will help me get to sleep when I'm in bed tonight. Joe put a special Christmas present right beside his bed. He peered at Moz and waved his hand. "Good night," Joe softly said. Moz raised his furry paw and gently said goodbye, and Joe grinned at the twinkle he could see in Moz's eye. When Joe switched on his Christmas light, he gasped. Stars filled his room. They gently glowed and glimmered around his shiny crescent moon. Joe looked. Moz, look, Joe whispered. It's as if the sky had come inside. But Moz was gone. Joe checked again. There was nowhere to hide, Joe sighed, and snuggled down to sleep. His Christmas day was done. But Joe knew he would dream all night of Moz and monster fun. I hope you enjoyed that book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!